Now on CoastTV News.
Heat on the rise, how locals across Sussex County are getting ready to safely beat the heat this weekend.
Expanding voting rights in Dewey, mixed reactions from voters on maybe allowing corporations to have a say in town matters.
Skipping the shelter, how a first-of-its-kind program seeks to help dogs through enrichment outside the shelter.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Beating the heat by hitting the beach. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with the start of a heat wave on Delmarva.
If you were outside, you could feel it. Blue skies and the sun just beating down, and the weather impacting lots of local activities on Delmarva, with potentially dangerous consequences if you're not careful. Lifeguards in Dewey Beach still hit the stands despite sweltering temps, with new precautions such as monitoring sand temperatures.
It's kind of mandatory footwear so we don't end up with blistering and so forth on the sand. It's mandatory umbrella, so every lifeguard stand has to have their umbrella up.
Captain Todd Fritchman says lifeguards take more frequent breaks in the AC. And that's the same protocol at Waves Car Wash in Lewis.
We cycle them in and out into our break room that's air conditioned. Get them about 5-10 minutes every hour just to make sure that they stay nice and cool.
Waves says the heat isn't all bad news.
We'll actually get busier because they'll want us to do it rather than they have to do it.
It's good for business at Lavender Fields in Milton, too.
I mean, if it were like this every day all summer, I think it'd be a bigger issue, but lavender's heat resistant and it loves the sun.
It's a great weekend to enjoy the great indoors or get outside safely.
Stay hydrated, stay out of the sun, or stay in the ocean.
The first weekend of summer set to be a scorcher. And the heat can be dangerous and expensive. So Delaware Electric Co-op is sharing a few tips to keep you cool and keep that electric bill down. Here's just a few. Turn off any unnecessary lights. Grill outside instead of using your stovetop. And be sure to change your HVAC filters monthly. And to learn more about reducing energy, visit CoastTV.com.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how will you beat the heat this weekend?
Let's take a look at the updated results from last news hour. Take a look at your screen and you can see 73% say stay indoors, 10% say beach trip, 12% say pool day, just 5% say cool treats.
We need more votes for the beach.
I know. Come to the beach with us. Come on. We'll be there Saturday, Sunday, all weekend long.
All weekend long. If you haven't voted yet, you still can. Just go to CoastTV.com or the mobile app and maybe tell us that you're really going to the beach too.
Yeah, well, let's take a live look right now outside into Lewis. And our first alert chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, has been tracking this heat all week. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening to you, Maddie and Mallory. Now, typically we wait until, the regular weathercast in order to show you the 7-day forecast, making an exception to this because of the heat that we're dealing with. I want to show you something real quick. So far, we've gotten up to about 91. We're still looking for about 92 with our forecast, but we already cracked 90 degrees. But you see, as you take a look at these days for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 91, Tuesday may be the day in which we'll drop down to the 80s and back to the 90s. But to be honest, this Tuesday is likely to be pushed back up to near 90 because it's only 2 degrees away. And if you factor in the heat index, it's going to feel like 100. So this streak is now going to go possibly to 5 to 6 days in a row. Coming up, we're going to talk more detail as far as what to deal with as it pertains to heat exhaustion versus a heat stroke, Mallory.
Thank you. New today, Delaware State Police are investigating a crash that killed a teenage girl. Police say just after midnight, an 18-year-old woman from Pennsylvania stepped out of a car on the shoulder of Route 1 near Oyster Rocks Road to look for her phone. Officials say while looking, she stepped into the road. A car that was driving north in the right lane of Route 1 hit her. Police say the 18-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene, and officials continue to investigate and ask anyone with information to contact Delaware State Police.
Another crash took place this morning just after 4 a.m. Millsboro police say an Acura ran a red light going south and hit a Ford F-350. Now, officials say it caused the traffic light to stop working and it sent both drivers to the hospital. Traffic now back to normal and that light is replaced and reprogrammed.
The town of Dewey Beach is exploring the possibility of expanding voting rights Today, commissioners talked about allowing LLCs, LLPs, and corporations to have one vote in town matters. Live in Dewey Beach is CoastTV News reporter Elisa Weber. Elisa, this is a hot topic in Dewey Beach.
Maddie and Mallory, I spoke to people here today in Dewey Beach who are for the change and others who think extending voting rights isn't fair. Right now, if you own property, are a resident, or are leasing a property for 5 years or more, you can vote in Dewey Beach.
The future of who can and can't vote in the town of Dewey Beach is up for debate. Homeowner Jen Kennedy is against allowing LLCs, LLPs, and corporations to vote because she feels it is wrong.
You know, I'm interested in the local community, and some of the LLCs potentially aren't as invested in the local community, and so I want to make sure that as a homeowner my voice is heard and represented.
But Philip Dennis, whose home is listed as an LLC, says he does care about the town.
People who have an LLC to vote, allowing them to vote is a good idea because for me personally, I'm very invested in the area. I care about every aspect of the community and the environment. I want to make it nice for me and my family and for anyone who comes here to use my house. So it's very important to me.
According to town charter, anyone over the age of 18 is registered to vote and is a bona fide resident, property owner, or has a lease of 5 years or more can vote.
I think it's important, you know, part of the discussion I want to bring up is how do we put guardrails that, like, you can't buy 1,000 properties and you get 1,000 new voters.
Bauer says right now about 1,850 people and entities have the ability to vote, and if Dewey's charter is changed, over 200 more could cast future votes. At this time, this change is just a conversation, and commissioners will discuss the implications of this proposal.
Commissioner Bauer told me in the future commissioners could vote for a change, or this could go to a referendum. In Dewey Beach, I'm Elisa Weber, Coast TV News.
Elisa, thank you. And it's not just Dewey Beach who's looked into this idea. In 2023, a proposed charter change in Seaford that would have given businesses a voice in local elections, it didn't become law. The Delaware Senate didn't bring the bill to allow that on the floor on the last day of the General Assembly. On a similar note, Rehoboth commissioners voted to remove out-of-towners from serving on advisory committees last October. Non-locals can still vote in city task forces as well as voice concerns. They can be a part of those without an official vote at town meetings.
Looking ahead, Georgetown Town Council has a busy night on Monday. They'll have the first reading of an updated ordinance that outlines regulations for recreational marijuana businesses. This comes after the town debated a few changes and additions at a previous reading. The meeting will also share an update on the Springboard Collaborative Georgetown Pallet Village.
Next week, Milton will talk about creating a path connection between the Heritage Creek and Cannery Village developments. You can see that area on your screen right now. The arrow is actually where that path would go. The Streets and Sidewalks Committee has a possible vote on this idea Monday.
Heading to the Seaford area now, DelDOT is inviting the public to learn more about a proposed project to replace the bridge on Old Furnace Road over the Nanticoke River. There will be a workshop next Monday at Seaford Middle School for people to learn why replacements are needed and potential improvements that could be made.
And we're just getting started this Friday evening.
A new program to encourage adopting dogs in Sussex County.
And we have a weekend of 100-degree indices, which could have a sinister effect on your health.
I needed a walk-in tub because of my ability to walk. You have jets, you have heated seats. You can't imagine how nice it is, especially for seniors. You need that. It's well worth your safety.
It's Coastal Bath's annual sizzling summer savings. Enjoy $2,000 off or no payments, no interest for 18 months.
I love Coastal Bath. They are such nice people.
With countless 5-star reviews, call Coastal Bath today for your free estimate.
Pig out on riches at Ocean Downs with Greedy Piggy. Pick a piggy bank to feast on free play. Get greedy for more, but risk losing it all. Plus, earn finalist entries for a chance at $10,000 cash. Ocean Downs Casino, where the fun shines.
All eyes are on Jeopardy for a game with a finale you won't see coming.
What a way to end the week.
Friday at 7:30 on Coast TV. This is Coast TV News at 6.
The prolonged heat can have dangerous health consequences, especially for the elderly and children.
But everyone is susceptible to heat stroke or heat exhaustion. We sat down with BB Healthcare today to learn when you should just get in some AC or when you need to get to the hospital.
If you have a little bit of a headache or maybe are dizzy and, you can kind of get to a cool area and hydrate, that's one thing. But certainly if you start throwing up or having any change in mental status, that would be concerning.
And now we're turning it to our chief meteorologist, Paul Williams.
Paul, we want to clarify, what are the signs to look for heat stroke and exhaustion?
Well, they're actually conflicting with one another, but real quickly, flooding typically is thought of as the most deadly severe weather phenomenon that kills the most people. Well, heat has now surpassed that. With that in mind, let's take a look at some things. First of all, heat exhaustion versus heat stroke. First of all, faint or dizzy with heat exhaustion. With a heat stroke, throbbing headache is typically the situation. Heat exhaustion, lots of sweating typically occur. But ironically, heat stroke, no sweating happens at all. Cool, pale, clammy skin, and for those who have melanin, deep melanin in their skin, it's actually patches of lighter brown in your skin. Then red, hot skin for heat stroke, and you have to feel the temperature of the skin for someone that is dark as I am. Nausea could be with either one of them, but a rapid and weak pulse for heat exhaustion, but a strong pulse for stroke. Now, heat exhaustion, this is the key. Heat exhaustion, you have to deal with muscle cramps. That's the hint. But you may lose consciousness with a heat stroke. So what do you do for a heat exhaustion versus heat stroke? This is very clear. Heat exhaustion, get to a cool place, air-conditioned place, drink water. If conscious, and take a cool shower or cold compress. Heat stroke, call 911. Take a good look at that. Memorize.
Thank you, Paul. Heading to sports, tonight is the 68th annual Blue Gold All-Star Football Game at the University of Delaware. The Delmarva Sports Network's Michelle Roberts joins us live at the football stadium with what we can expect tonight.
This is the final chance for graduating seniors to represent their high school. Blue and gold football players and cheerleaders were selected for their outstanding character and performance on the field. Now Team Blue leads the all-time series over gold by 4 games, but this event is about much more than competition. Some students team up with individuals with intellectual disabilities through the DFRC Hands to Hands program, spending time together at practices, games, and more. You'll see the buddies on the field tonight. Executive Director of DFRC, Jada Little, says this event supports their mission of inclusion.
The Blue Gold program, with the game being the centerpiece of that, is just part of what we do for as an organization. DFRC, actually, we fundraise all year round. We give out grants to other Delaware organizations that help people with intellectual disabilities. So part of what we're working toward with the game is just kind of making Delaware a more inclusive, accepting place, and with a lot of opportunities for people who may not have them otherwise.
DFRC is a wonderful organization to support if you can. Now to the talent on the field. Team Blue, highlighted by Gatorade Player of the Year, state champion and Sally's running back Brian Aline. Team Gold, led by Cape standout Lexington Westcott and Woodbridge's Tracy Johnson. You can hear the band playing behind me now. Things are getting ready to go down at the Blue Gold All-Star Football Game, and you can check out all the action live starting on DSN at 7 p.m. Reporting from Newark, Delaware for the Delmarva Sports Network, I'm Michelle Roberts.
Here's a look at your golf forecast. Listening as you're teeing it up for tomorrow, please be sure to keep in mind the heat that's in place. So it's good, not excellent. It's almost too hot. It's going to feel like 99 to 104 out on the links with plenty of sunshine and 96 degrees.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert Weather app today.
It's sign and drive time at both IG Burton GMC locations in Lewis and Glen Burnie. Drive home in a new GMC Terrain with 0 down payment, 0 first month's payment, and 0 security deposit. Or take advantage of discounts up to $87.50 off GMC Sierra 1500 trucks. Or take $72.50 off a new GMC Terrain. Plus 1.9% APR and no payments for 3 months available. When it comes to discounting GMCs in Delaware or Maryland, nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Son, your house looks and smells great.
I finally took your advice, Dad. Dry Zone was professional, fast, and reasonably priced.
Just like I said.
Yes, Dad. They fixed up our crawl space, so no more buckling, cracking, or musty odors.
Like I said.
Yes, Dad, like you said.
Dry Zone, they're the oldest and the best.
Just like you, Dad.
Protect your largest investment with Delmarva's local choice, Dry Zone, the oldest and the best.
If you're interested in doing a program like this, Sussex Tech is definitely the place to do it.
Sussex Tech was very conscientious of my work schedule. They were very flexible, and I was able to work and go to school at the same time.
Ms. Doyle was a wonderful teacher. She had confidence in all of us. She made sure to let us know that we were all going to succeed.
Check out Sussex Tech Adult Education online today.
And see how you can earn while you learn with registered apprenticeship and health profession programs at Sussex Tech Adult Education.
At Pohanka Honda of Salisbury, we get right to the point. Get into your new Honda starting at only $249 a month and do it in 60 minutes or less. At Pohanka Honda, we know that this summer you'd like to spend less time buying and more time driving. So, when you buy using the Pohanka Honda Fast Pass, you can get your new Honda from less than $250 a month, and you can get it in an hour or less. How's that for getting to the point? It's a 60 minutes or less summer at Pohanka Honda.
The Summer of Saving Sale is underway at Carpet and Tile Mart Flooring Supercenters. These deals are hot, up to 70% off clearance floors mart-wide. All in stock to take home today for less. Simply pick, pay, take it away, or we'll install as soon as you say for free. Plus 0% financing for 36 months. Available, affordable, at your service. The deals don't get hotter than this. Get ready for summer now at Airbase Carpet and Tile Mart Flooring Supercenters.
The big issues: abortion, civil rights, healthcare. When Trump policies were attacking our rights, County Executive Matt Meyer fought back. Now Trump is promising a national abortion ban and huge cuts to healthcare coverage. Matt's healthcare plan will reduce costs, not coverage, by increasing competition on the exchange. And Matt's plan will protect women's access to abortion, always. So call Matt Meyer. Tell him you support his plans to protect Delaware values.
CoastTV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
The heat is really stepping into the forefront for this weekend, starting as early as today. We warmed to 91 degrees here in Georgetown, 89 for the high, Salisbury. Take a look at how we've been tracking the heat throughout the day. 104 in Seaford, 90s in other places. Seaford has just been unusually warm. Got up to 106 for the heat index earlier today, and we're still holding at 105 even at this hour until it just recently dropped just about 10 minutes ago. An excessive heat watch is active starting on Sunday officially, but you know what? The heat is already in full effect, but it's affecting the entire mid-Atlantic and going into the northeast. The trough that's pushing through right now, it's not a rainmaker. It's not going to help out. High pressure is still very dominant, so it creates that dome of heat that we've been dealing with. That dome is sinking a little bit more to the south, which is why we now have the lion's share of the heat kicking in. The mosquito activity that we're expecting, listen, it's going to be for Saturday, Sunday, very high, and then on Monday, it's going to be at least on the high side, but Saturday and Sunday are going to be a peak time in which the mosquitoes are going to be the most problem. Temperatures right now, 91 Milford, 93 in Redden, 94 in Millsboro. We have the dew point temperature in the 60s and 70s, so that makes it feel like the mid to upper 90s just about everywhere. Tomorrow, sweltering sunshine, 94 Millsboro and Laurel, 95 Seaford and Georgetown, 96 in Harrington, by the way. We're looking for 96 in Vienna, 95 for the high Cambridge, with the winds southwest, 9 to 14 miles per hour. Look for a high of 96 in Salisbury, 94 in Snow Hill, Berlin, 95 Pocomoke City. Futurecast Saturday morning, 5 o'clock, temps in the 70s. The afternoon, staying clear, winds out of the south, 90s, but feeling like 100. Sunday, even worse. 77 the starting point, 90s for the ending point. And then we may hopefully get a little rain here by Monday to cool us off. The muggy meter is just going to stay elevated till we get to Monday when that rain begins to arrive. But look at these feels like. We're looking at temperatures feeling like the 100s easily in our area, and that rain's going to push through on Monday, but clear out on Tuesday. 91 for tonight, 96 for tomorrow, and for Sunday. Finally, here's a look at your extended forecast.
Paul, thank you very much. And as you just saw from Paul, we're going to be seeing record temps. And there's some precautions to take not only for yourself, but for your phones. Did you know your devices can become overheated in just minutes? Well, here's some tips from Verizon on how to keep your phone safe from the heat. Avoid leaving your phone in the car as temps can rise 30 degrees in just 10 minutes. Reduce your brightness, close all the apps that aren't being used. And if your phone does overheat, take the case off and place the phone in a shaded area that is ventilated. Let's take one more look at our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how will you beat the heat? Let's see if more of you are coming to the beach with Mallory and I. You're not. Actually, less of you are. Fewer people are coming to the beach. 12% are going to the pool. That's the second choice now. 76% are staying indoors. Well, if you haven't voted yet, you can still do that at coasttv.com or the mobile app. Mallory will have updates tonight on Coast TV News at 11.
That's right, hoping for more votes for the beach. And with July right around the corner, fireworks season is upon us, and the town of Berlin has given their best spots to watch their fireworks show. It starts the evening of July 3rd, and the best places for viewing are at the Food Lion Shopping Center, the Jack Burbage Cancer Center, and Barrett Medical Parking Lot. There will be no parking allowed on Route 113, Route 50, and Old Ocean City Boulevard. For more information on all of the fireworks shows next month, just visit coasttv.com.
This is my favorite story of the day. The Brandywine Valley SPCA is launching a Shelter Skip Day program. It encourages community members to volunteer and take a dog on a fun outing out of the shelter somewhere else. You can pick up a puppy there Tuesday through Friday 12 to 4, on the weekend from 11 to 2. And you can sign a dog out for an hour, an afternoon, or up to a whole day. Kind of important, though, you have to return the dog before it closes, the shelter that is, unless you're going to adopt him, which that'd be wonderful. We have more information on Shelter Skip Day and how to help all those pets at the SPCA on coasttv.com.
This weekend, the Lewis Beekeeping Club will be at the historic Lewis Farmers Market. You can learn about the life cycle of the bee, how beekeepers care for bees and their hives, and how honey is harvested. It's all part of Pollinator Week celebration. We'll be right back.
Over 14,000 people per day are affected by water damage in their home or business. Even a small leak from a water heater, washer, refrigerator line, or even HVAC drain can cause lasting damage. Response time is critical. Paul Davis has a team of certified experts on call 24/7 to stop the water, mitigate damage, and work directly with your insurance to quickly restore your home or business. If you see peeling paint, stains, mold, or smell a musty odor, call Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Weather is sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration, your storm damage experts, here to help now.
The Honda you want is here, so drive in the moment with the versatile CR-V or Accord. Both named a Car and Driver 10 Best. And when you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2023 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Faster internet is better. That's why Extreme is increasing speeds and lowering prices, giving you more go, more whoa, more vroom, and boom for less. Get Internet 250 with Whole Home Wi-Fi 360 Pro for just $19.99 a month for a year. Plus, call now and get a $100 credit on your internet package. New faster speeds, new lower prices. Call 844-EXTREME2.
summer, pack your bags and head to Ocean City, Maryland for free family fun all summer long. Watch beach movies, build sandcastles, and gaze at colorful kites, all completely free. Bust a move from the beach to the bay with beach dance parties, Sunset Park party nights, and Sundays in the park with fireworks, all completely free. Enjoy arts and crafts, discover Ocean City's history, and be in awe of acrobatic stunts at the circus, all completely free. So get going. Family memories are waiting to be made in Ocean City, Maryland. Plan your trip now at OCOcean.com.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
Excessive heat watch in effect for all of Sussex and really the entire state. Dealing with the heat in general will be our biggest concern over the weekend. You can keep up with your forecast with our line, Baird, Mandalas, Brookstead, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. It's going to be a yellow alert day on Sunday because of the heat.
Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.